Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another edition of the RnRGzrs show. A lot of news, of course, this week. Every week brings us a lot of new news, and we've got updates on the supposed concert we were supposed to hit, and a clown rejoined Slipknot, and little Brian May, some more musicians selling off their catalogs, getting the big bucks while they can. Some Noel Gallagher, Alex Lifeson, all sorts of good stuff here. So, pretty packed show, and I want to invite you to welcome my co-host, Doc Box. What's shaking, Doc?
Oh man, yeah, ready for another episode of the Geezer Show. So, as I always do, thanks to our subscribers and viewers, and hopefully you're one and the same. If you're a viewer and not a subscriber, please be one. We would love you. And if you're just joining us for the first time, this is what we do every Monday. We go over last week's items and rock news, and sometimes concert reviews, but. We were supposed to have one this week, but no,
But
no,
no,
yeah,
things did not happen. As a matter of fact, if you recall, last year we had season passes also to Tinley Park Amphitheater, and the our season passes were not valid for one show, and it was probably one of the most popular shows. I don't remember which one, but
no. It was Josh Groban,
yeah,
the I don't know what
and
type of the
so
crooner, I guess you'd call him. I don't know.
yeah, but we
So
weren't
no
allowed to
loss,
go to
yeah,
that one,
yeah, no
uh,
loss there.
but I'll be darned. This year I really hadn't paid attention to much of anything about scheduling about shows we're not going to be able to go to, and lo and behold, a couple of days before the concert, I'm looking around on the interweb there, and up comes the United Center, United whatever the hell it's called now. Who knows what it's
Credit Union
Credit
won,
Union
yes,
one. Yeah, it comes up and it says the lawn will be closed, and I'm thinking, well, wait, that's not good. Obviously, they're not going to close it because of the overpacked house. And I'm thinking, why would they close the lawns? Long story short is they offered everybody with a season lawn pass a pavilion seat.
yeah,
Uh,
cheap pavilion seat, like
Way
yeah,
back in
yeah,
the nosebleeds, and you only had to pay a 75-cent Ticketmaster charge.
right.
But I didn't get season tickets in the lawn to sit in the pavilion. Yeah, it was all right in my younger years, but out in the lawn, you got your lawn chairs which are adjustable. The one I have is adjustable, and you can watch the sunset, and you can watch the cars coming in late and laugh at them and stuff. There's so much that can be done on the lawn, and I'm not hip sitting shoulder to shoulder
You're just a
anymore.
lawn guy. You're just a lawn kind of
I'm a
guy. Yeah,
geezer. I'm just
yeah,
not
yeah.
hip to sitting shoulder to shoulder, being
Right.
annoyed. I don't know. It was just, and it's not that big of a show. It wasn't that big of a deal for me. I could take or leave three doors down. That was all good
Well,
and
for me,
whatnot.
the
But
issue was, I didn't even know about it till Friday morning, and then I saw the thing, and it's like in the fine print at the bottom, wasn't even like the headline of the item, and so they said that. So you're reading in the comments there on Facebook, and they said that, well, we sent out emails, and I didn't get an email. You didn't get an email. Lots
and
of
our
people
and
didn't
our
get an
our two
email.
our two friends who have season passes didn't get emails. So
Okay.
here we go. They screwed up again, and then they
Yeah.
sent us a link, but it's like late
Yeah,
Friday. It's
after
like
we had to go on and
do all this
private
crap.
message them, and yeah.
Like, I want to sit in the lawn. That's what I bought the lawn seat for. And I'm thinking, and one of my friends who has a season pass was thinking maybe it's so not crowded that they didn't even want to fire up the big screens, the big
Right.
screens back there, because maybe that's a
Well,
more
yeah,
of
if
a
you got half a
cost.
crowd, you want them in the front half of
Well,
the
yeah,
venue,
yeah.
whatever it is.
Well,
But
that's a thing for ego, Well,
yeah,
we gotta make we gotta make the place look crowded, so you don't get to sit on the lawn. Well, I'm sorry, I want to sit on the lawn. That's my
yeah,
thing. But
yeah,
and they're gonna be doing the same thing for Brett Michaels. But that one, we're gonna have to.
yeah, we'll go to
I'm
that
gonna have to
one.
dig deep and go to that one. Yeah, get one of those
Yeah.
75-cent cheap seats. But boy, I don't know, man. Credit Union One, they're sort of dropping the ball already
Yeah,
early
it's
in the
kind of
season.
well, this is the second show, and the first show was Janet Jackson, and that was a bit of a debacle. So
Yes,
they're
it was.
kind of 0 for 2 here, man.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure it wasn't a big crowd, and it was probably a great show. But just let us. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't.
reading some of the comments. And there was a lot of comments. I didn't see anything negative, so it seemed like everybody had a good time.
Well, that's good, and I don't know. I would think Brett Michaels might draw a little more than, they may have to open a lot of. I don't know. Maybe he won't sell out the
Yeah, that's
pavilion.
the Party Gras tour where he's
Yeah.
teaming up with Steve Algeri, the replacement vocalist for Journey, and the Sugar Ray guy, Mark McGrath,
Mark
and they're on
McGrath.
at the same time and just going back and forth and trading off hits.
Why not?
And
That would be a good
and
one.
the
And
openers are Jefferson Starship or whatever they're going by nowadays. I don't know. And Night Ranger. So yeah,
that ought to be a good
yeah,
show.
it should be a fine show. Yeah,
Brett
but
Gillis on guitar. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's another one where
Apparently
the
they're
lounge
yeah, they're
closed.
not
Yeah.
gonna we're not even gonna sell out the pavilion, apparently, 'Cause if they was to sell out the pavilion, there's no way they could not
Yeah.
open the lawn. So
Apparently, the
uh,
charisma of Brett Michaels was not enough to put asses in the lawns, I guess, or in the seats.
oh geez. What a shame. What a doggone shame. But I think our next gig, the next concert, I think we're going to a Snoop Dogg.
No,
No, it isn't.
Shania.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh
Shania
God.
Twain on the
Bring the
1st of
gummies,
July.
dude. Bring the gummies. Oh boy.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, a couple weeks
Oh,
after
well,
that.
that's exciting. I'm excited to see that, to see how much of a train wreck her concert is. Because
Yeah.
from what we've been hearing, it's she's trying to act like in her 20s.
Yeah, she's trying to
So yeah,
uh,
that'll be exciting. Oh, but they'll give us fodder for the following show. The review could be very enlightening, if you will. So yeah, yeah, there you go. Also, speaking of concerts and whatnot, we've heard about the clown Sean Crahan from Slipknot. He was he took what 3 days. It took a bit of time
yeah,
off
we just
to
talked
care for
about
his
last
wife.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He took some time off, and he came back for I think 3 concerts, and one of them was a download. But I just heard, or I just didn't hear, I read somewhere where after 3 concerts back with him, he had to go back home to care for his wife. So it must be really serious. Uh, and they performed like just a couple of handful of shows already. They're gearing up for the summer, and he may just have to, you know, I don't know. Having not knowing what's going on with his wife, who knows? Whatever he needs to do. Just stay home if you can afford it. Stay home. If save your nickels and dimes. It's more important to take care of the wife. The banging on the big breast drums or whatever they are. That
Yeah,
can
I'm not
wait.
sure his role. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
not gonna ruin the music. So
yeah, I kind of speculated on that last week when we first talked about it. It was going to be kind of an in and out thing, and it kind of looks like that's kind of what he's doing. But to me, dude, just stay home, man. Just I
yeah,
could just
yeah.
picture him where he's like, "Well, can I go out and play with my friends?"
Yeah, yeah. I want to go.
Yeah,
If she's home hurting, stay the hell
right.
home.
Yeah,
If you can afford it, who knows? I don't know how much
yeah,
money.
who
Some of
knows?
these musicians, they're not making a whole bunch of money. They haven't recently. Geez, we've talked Carl Palmer recently, and Dick Dale, and folks like the older guys, and even some newer guys. Ain't they didn't save their nickels and dimes,
No.
man. So hopefully he did. But stay home, take care of your wife. Good grief.
Yes,
You
it sounds
know?
like he's kind of just taking it on the short term, and like for right now, he's just stepping out for the end of June. So that's what less than 2 weeks. So, yeah, dude, just stay home, take care of her, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me see. Do I got a quote here? Oh no, Corey Taylor quoted. Of course, they use so much profanity. I don't think I'm gonna even. Secondly, obviously for his family, I want you all to scream your effing asses off so they can effing hear him back in America. Blah 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 blah. So it's all whoop de doo, but he should just stay home, take care of the situation, and gosh, they're not coming around. I'd love to see them again. they're quite an entertaining time. But
I'm sure. I've never seen them, but yeah, I would love to. They're not anything I'm into. I don't own any Slipknot, but I'm sure for a show, yeah,
I
I'm
think I
in.
do. I might. I don't know. I might. I know my son owns some, so that's good enough. That's close enough. Once
Right
removed. Yeah, yeah.
by proxy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Brian May. This is interesting. He talks about him and uh, Eddie Van Halen got together to do this Starfleet project
Yeah, we just spoke about
because
that
he was
last week.
talking about that. Yeah, and he was saying the Queen was at like their epicenter. The mid '80s. They had hit after hit after hit, and he admits they're all becoming jerks basically to each other and getting very tired of each other at that point. So he decided to take some time off, and apparently he headed over to L.A. I think, right?
Right.
Yeah,
That's
he was in L.A.
83, so not quite,
'83,
but
but
80,
close enough.
83, yeah.
They were really
Oh yeah.
riding a crest with that,
Oh yeah. Oh,
the
big
crest
time.
of the nave then. Yeah, but yeah, he was in LA, so he decided to call up Eddie Van Halen for a recording session just out of the blue. Yeah, let's go record with Eddie. And he explained it like this. This is great. I get to use my British accent, my Brian May accent. In 1983, we decided we needed a break. And what I remember most vividly is waking up in LA, one of my favorite places, and thinking I could do anything today. The sun is shining. I've got friends here. Why don't make some phone calls? And that's what happened. I got on the phone to Eddie Van Halen. Do you fancy coming to the studio? Do you fancy? I'm sure he
Right.
said that too.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Brian here. Do you fancy coming to the studio
Uh,
today? And of course, yeah, I mean, yeah. So they gathered all their musicians, Phil Chen, a bass player extraordinaire, apparently. Fred Mandel, we talked about, great keyboard player who had done some work with Queen on Radio Gaga and stuff. So he was already familiar with everything. And I'm just surprised about Alan Gratzer. It's like the drummer of Midwestern REO Speedwagon. What's going on here? And apparently he only lives like 100 yards away. And they've talked before about getting from Eddie or whatever, and they talked about jamming at some point. So he just got all these people together and did that. And
but he also got Roger Taylor, and he was there just for background vocals, which
well,
is that's one
he
of his
did. Yeah,
fortes. But
when
you
you
would think
listen,
if you had him, they must have had Alan first. I'm
yeah,
sure they must have had him first. Because if you got him, if you got Roger Taylor, why do you need another drummer? But I don't know. Whatever.
but yeah,
Be interesting to see how it all timed out. But
and I got to look on YouTube because apparently Brian's got an official YouTube channel, and I haven't been able to find it yet because I just come across that fact recently, real quickly, like an hour ago, and I haven't been able to get on his channel to see if he may have the floating head video, which I think would be fabulous. I'd love to post it on our Facebook page, the Brian May floating head video because he's saving the world. But who knows, man? Maybe we'll find it. But
I think he'll probably put out something different. I hope not. I hope he doesn't feel like he's outgrown the floating.
no,
But
that's a classic video.
I know.
Geez, it may be on his Facebook page. I'm going to find out, and of course, if so, I'll post it on the
Well, it's
Rock and
just
Roll
kind of
Jesus
interesting. Like you said,
Facebook
they're
page.
kind of getting on each other's nerves. He just kind of decided to take a break, and that's probably healthy in most relationships. Just to take a break sometimes, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
and in this case, then I mean, I'm not saying like in a marital type relationship you go out and cheat on somebody or something, but in this case, he went and worked with some other musicians, and guys do that all
Well,
the time. So
yeah,
just
yeah. Well, you got four
and then he went
individual
back to
artists.
Queen, of course, and
Oh yeah,
just
yeah.
went forward with them, but.
But yeah, yeah. You got four. Like in case of Queen, you got four individual artists. And artists are always of all any sculptors, all artists of all kinds. They're all out of their
Oh,
freaking minds, and just to be able to keep a group of them together for any amount of time is just amazing.
yeah.
So,
Especially, I can imagine if Freddie Mercury would be quite the
oh man,
taskmaster. He'd be.
wow, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's a great the Bohemian Rhapsody. That's a pretty cool movie. The lead did real good playing Freddie on that.
Oh yeah, that's a
That's
great
very
movie.
cool. Yeah, yeah. So Brian May keeping busy, which is very cool. And here's another long-haired freak with the long white locks, and that would be Dee Snider. And this gets into our talk about folks selling their catalogs, and we're seeing more and more of it. Which, let's face it, for these musicians, it just makes incredible financial sense. What a gold mine, to
Some
have
of
that
these numbers
amount
are
of
throwing
money.
around.
Yeah,
It's just,
to,
we
to
just
have
reported a couple weeks ago. Queen. We're just talking about Queen. 1.1 billion. They haven't, signed off on anything yet, but that's in the works. What was Peak Floyd? They were something huge too. What
oh
were they?
God,
They were huge.
I don't
And
even
that's still in the
remember.
works. But as of now,
Oh,
Springsteen was 500 million, so
yeah,
he's the largest. But I think Floyd and Queen could both probably to top that. But again, those are groups. Springsteen's a solo artist, but
yeah,
nonetheless,
yeah.
these are pretty some
Maybe
pretty
he'll.
big numbers are being thrown around. Yeah,
Well, maybe he'll throw little Stevie some scraps.
yeah.
Here, here, little Stevie. I don't know how he talks. Here, little Stevie,
Hey,
have
Stevie.
yourself some scraps. Now go get me a burger.
Hey, Stevie.
Okay, Bruce. Yeah, yeah. Go out with all the commies and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, but nonetheless.
Hey,
Oh,
Stevie. Remember we was growing up on the boardwalk and you used to go
oh,
get me
geez.
burgers. Yeah, go get me a burger, man.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, and back to the selling catalogs thing. It's become big business. Bruce Springsteen, Fleetwood Mac, Queen, Pink Floyd, they're all underway. And according to Schneider, he says, it's math. He joked, and I was told there'd be no math in rock and roll, but when you're getting your royalty checks every year and they're big, I'm in the 50% tax bracket between state and federal laws. They're chopping off 50%, he says. That's enough to tick anyone off. There's a difference with a catalog sale because that's regarded as a property transaction. The Twisted Sister leader noted. Capital gains on a sale of property is like 15-20%. The replacement transaction is known as a multiple. They give you 10 years worth of royalties in advance or whatever that number is. When you do the math, you look at it and you go, okay, I'm going to save 30% on taxes. You know, he's thinking, there's a musician who's
Oh yeah.
thinking about the bottom line. Oh,
It's,
man.
it's not always how much you make; it's how much you keep.
Keep.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. That's a good call, man. Good call, Doc, on that. So, yeah, he's got his shit together. He knows what's going on. So, I don't know. What'd you figure? I don't know, 2,500 for the catalog from Twisted Sister. I don't know. I don't know if is there up for sale? I don't know. Or
Well, he sold out in 2015.
Did
And,
he?
yeah, he sold in
Wow.
2015. That's why he's saying why he did it. It was just doing the math, and he was
Well,
on some hard. I don't know about them, but he was on some hard times at one point. So
yeah.
it's not like he was always making money.
Well, I hope he invested well. Invest it, live off 75% of the proceeds, throw the other 25% back into the investment, and it'll just grow every year and you'll be happy as can be. There you go. Boom. There's my plan. I'm a rock and roll
he was on
star.
such hard times. At one point, he was in a Twisted Sister cover band.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
Holy cow. It was like unbelievable facts or one of those online things. He was, wow. Well, I hope I didn't know how much he got out of it. Geez, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I didn't see a number on this. Is 2015 when probably just starting to be a thing at that point, really. But
yeah. Boy, oh boy.
So yeah, he's talking about the advantages of selling, and then Neil Young saw a video with him. He's talking about the advantages of selling. He just sold for a big number too. Usually they're undisclosed. We found out what Bruce was and a couple others, but usually it's for an undisclosed amount. But Neil Young is basically just saying, hey, I want money in my my golden years to do what I want and to not do what I don't want, and
Yeah,
hey.
yeah. Let me see. Okay, yeah, he explains why he sell it, but nobody's saying how much he got for it. Oh, those jerks. That figures. No,
Neil Young's probably, I don't know, 150 mil maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a video of him, that old curmudgeon.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says, oh, let me see if he starts off here. He just sold. I think he sold part of part of the money. He's using it to go living life the way he wants to live. About he said basically he bought his freedom when he
Yeah,
sold his cattle. He
yeah.
bought his freedom. Boom, all this freaking money. I'm sure he got a ton of money. He can.
Where does he live? Up in Canada, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. Way back in the day, he bought a farm and it came with an old man. Did you know that? That's where the roots of the song "Old Man" came from. Because
Really?
he bought a farm back in the day and it came with an old man, a caretaker of the farm, and that's the result was the song "Old Man." Look at my life, I'm a lot like you. Yeah, very cool. But yeah, Neil Diamond, why not at his age? Geez, he's only got a couple of years left. So if he hasn't sold it already, geez, get it sold and enjoy yourself. Go on tour with your
But
electricity free.
I don't know. Neil Diamond, I don't know if it's still the case, but at one point he had the biggest, or I don't know the terms you want to use, but the largest divorce settlement. He paid like out the nose, dude.
Ooh, Neil Diamond?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
When he got divorced, this is going back, man. God, this might be like
Oh,
late '80s, '90s. I don't know. It's been a long time. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
well,
got
he married a girl named
really
Crackhead Rosie. Crackhead Rosie, get on board.
right.
So yeah. Well, I imagine he can afford it. Geez, I could imagine his catalog would bring a
Oh
ton.
geez, yeah. I just saw the stuff. He's
But
really
then
good
there's
at
the
that.
musicians who they're already so damn rich that they don't have to sell their catalogs. But I don't know why not do it. I mean, if you're so freaking rich, sell your catalog and give it to charity. You know,
Oh,
uh,
here's
give it
another
to.
one.
Go ahead.
No, here's another one. You see what Corey Taylor had to say about it, and
Oh,
he's saying he doesn't want to sell,
yeah.
and he says for now he doesn't want to sell because he's still writing. He's still relevant. I guess there is that feeling of once you're sold, then you're kind of done or you're near done. But
Well, I see his point. Yeah, that he's still got a lot. It's not time to sell yet. He has to amass
well,
a
I think it's
mass.
more than just a matter of time. Then he says even when later on he says he doesn't think he wants to. He says he wants to pass it on to his family so
Well, there
they're
you go.
taken care of. But to
Okay.
me, that's the exact reason to do it. Why
Well, yeah,
burden
yeah.
them with all
But
the
having to go
rights
through
and
all the
having to do
bullshit
with all
with
exactly?
the
Why burden
business they're
them?
not used to. They have to deal with all
Yep,
these
yep,
these snake lawyers and shit. Yeah,
yep.
sell it
And they're
now.
probably gonna take, yeah, they'll probably weasel it out of them anyhow. So
Sure,
yeah, just
snake
sell out.
lawyers.
You got the big lump sum invested, do whatever you're gonna do, and they're set for you're set for however many generations, man. Whereas, yeah, if you pass it on, they have the burden of doing that. They mismanage it, it's gone. Oh well, yeah. Remember, Grandpa used to be a rock star. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and of course, Paul Stanley. He's got his 2 cents in there. He says, as far as I know, we only get one trip on this earth, and if you can't take it with you, so I totally get it. If there's money to be had, key point with Kiss. If
Oh
there's
yeah,
money to be had that's going to make your life better, then why not? It's a different business model, but it makes total sense. At some point in your career, you look at what you've created and what it's worth. Artists do that. It's what painting's about. You don't stash your artwork, you sell it. That's a good point there. The last one. Artists don't
yeah,
keep their works. They
yeah.
are. Yeah. And Paul Stanley, one of the most amazing artists in the music business. I don't know. I don't believe myself on that one. Sorry. But he makes a good point though. Yeah. Gosh, what an asset. What an asset to have. And at some point, yeah, you've made this asset just so you can make the tons of money off of it. And like Corey says, take care of his family.
But he's thinking the opposite, though. He's thinking to pass on the rights.
Well,
That's
that's
going to be
stupid.
what's going to
Yeah.
take on. That's going to take care of the
Corey,
family.
we got to talk to him. Well, he's far
know,
from it though. He's got to be far from. He's still a young guy.
and not
He
only that,
ain't
but
as
how many
easy.
generations do you think Slipknot's going to be relevant? Dude, cash in.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not right now. Like you said, they're still putting out stuff.
yeah, yeah. And him,
But
himself, yeah, because he's still got. I imagine he's still
oh yeah,
got
he's got so many
decades to
other
go.
projects. He's got his own solo
I
work.
imagine
He
he's
got the
got
Stone
decades
Sour
to go.
stuff. So yeah,
Yeah. So just keep rolling. But at some point, sell.
yeah.
Gosh almighty. Come on,
To me, yeah,
Corey.
to me, I was just backwards thinking. I mean, to me, and we talked about it before. Don't Why burden your
Ancestors,
offspring,
not
your
ancestors, your kids,
Yeah,
grandkids,
yeah. Why
everybody.
burden them with it?
Gosh almighty. Take one lump sum, you try and make sure that they invest and spend wisely and don't turn out to be bums. See,
Especially when you're talking in the hundreds of millions. I don't know what Slipknot would get, but I'm sure tens of millions anyway. I
yeah, oh,
mean,
yeah. I'm oh boy. 40. I'm guessing
yeah,
40.
who knows?
Yeah. So Corey, come on, get your shit together. He's still got years to go, but I imagine a few years down the road, he may have seen so many people sell out their
Yeah,
catalogs. It'll say, these people are smart. I got to get on
yeah.
this
I got to think
bandwagon.
his mind is going to be swayed on that one. Yeah.
My granddaughter needs great braces. You got to do what you got to do. Oh, I love this one. I always make fun of Gallagher, the Oasis boys with their monobrows and shit. And Noel she's just a jerk. They seem to both be jerks. The brothers, the brothers and Noel Gallagher, he's playing over here in the US. He's got a new album out, and he's like starting out with 4 or 5 songs off of the album right out of the gate. People aren't digging it at all, and he's really pissed. Oh boy, yeah, he's not. They're not getting a good reception from Americans. It says here, Noel Gallagher has said that songs he's performing live off his latest album, Council Skies, aren't getting a good reception from U.S. audiences. The high flying bird singer, songwriter, and guitarist said in a new interview that the response to him opening his sets with new material has been terrible so far. He told Rolling Stones, "It's terrible. I'm starting off with 4 or 5 new ones. People should have bought the effing album then, shouldn't they? They stand there with their mouths open thinking, what the fuck is this?" Wow. Oh boy. He's got, I'm sorry. People, it's hard to bring new music up. You got to throw a song in here or there, sprinkle it into the night. You don't come out with 4 new songs. Shit, I'd probably take off, go home. Fuck off. I don't know this shit.
And there may well have been people that did. Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Yeah, that's really arrogant of him, man. That's just everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Any legacy artist, especially has been around, over 20 years, whatever, that people want to hear the hits. You got new stuff, okay, cool. Yeah, your real fans want to hear the new stuff too, but don't come out leading off with 4 of them. Dude, what
sprinkle it? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you remember when we saw Sammy Hagar, he had a new album out.
Right.
And he came out. The first song was the I believe the title track off the album. He busts out with that. He never did another song off the album. And then at the end, walking off,
right,
they put up a video of another song off the album. Boom! There, you've promoted the album. Everybody knows about it. There you
and
go.
everybody got to hear all the hits that they came to hear.
Yep.
And yet, some of them will be interested in, hey, that's cool. I'll have to go get that CD, or I have to go download it illegally off the internet, whatever, whatever it takes. But yeah, geez, that's stupid. That's just plain.
Well, it's not
stupid.
to say now he's it's Noel Gallagher's High Flying Bird. They don't really have a legacy per se, but Oasis, obviously, that's what everybody's there to hear. And,
yeah. I'm sorry. I was never into that. If they ain't got crunchy power chords and drop D tuning, I'm sorry. But yeah, he really got pissed off, and I'm proud of the American fans because that's not how you work America. If you don't already know, you freaking English sod.
Well, just for him to, they should buy the album then, shouldn't they? Well, that's your hope. That's what you're there for.
Yeah,
but you don't. You're supporting the album, but the same exactly, man.
Sprinkle, baby.
Less is more. Less is more.
Sprinkle.
You want people to walk away saying, that was a pretty good show, man. You play all the songs I like. Yeah, I like the new ones too that he put through there.
Hear that?
You don't want to be hit over the head with it, man. So
nope. So that figures she's a wanker.
And I've always kind of been team Noel rather than Liam. And Liam was always kind of more, but now this kind of now he's we're finding out they're both dicks, so whatever.
Oh boy. Oasis. Well, I don't care for you, Noel, or your monobrow brother. That's a I put out a song about that. I know these sods, they're both monobrows. You know, go on from there. That'd be pretty cool. Speaking of cool, uh, uh, Alex Lifeson. Oh boy, everybody loves Alex Lifeson, guitarist for the legendary three-piece monsters Rush. Alex Lifeson. He hasn't been sitting down. He's got a band going called Envy of None. And for I've been seeing them for a few years now. I haven't really paid much attention because I'm an old geezer and I'm sort of hard to clamp on the new stuff. But it's good to see him going on. And geez, I know. I'm sorry. I just wish they would get a drummer and go do a tour with Getty. Come on. Oh,
Well,
geez.
there's no drummer in this band. It's all
Oh,
programmed.
is
So
it?
yeah. So he's
I'll
been
be
doing this band
darned.
since 2021. So a couple
Wow.
years now
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
And yeah, I was unaware of it, but they just come out with this EP called "That Was Then," and it's got an accompanying video with the one song. There's only like 3 or 4 songs on the EP, but they debuted something back last year, so
I'll have to remember. I'll have to
they
put that video up. I have to remember that. Put that video up on our site.
yeah
The
they
video.
had an album out last year, so yeah, he seems to be pretty serious about this project, and um, I'm sure I don't know any of these musicians, never heard of them or the bands that they've been with, but I'm sure they're top notch. He's not going to get with some,
Oh yeah.
he's not going to be slumming it. But yeah, a little bothers me a little bit. There's no drummer in the band. It's all program stuff, but you know,
Yeah.
we're in the 21st century now, whatever.
Yeah, but I do hope at some point, wow, Getty can't sing the high stuff anymore. So I don't know. It may just be totally dead, but it would not be problematic for me at all to have them go out and tour. Maybe
Get
even get
Portnoy
some
back there behind the skins, and
Portnoy behind there on the skins, maybe
uh,
some hot chick and singing. My gosh, you guys have got a stunning musical legacy, and I don't see any. I know, for the purists would go nuts. Oh, without the professor, blah blah blah. Yeah, but it's all about the music, man. It's
you
not about
know,
the personalities. It's about the music. If they could get out there with, like you say, Mike Portnoy and some hot chick singer that hits all the high stuff with power and energy. Oh my God, it could.
better than
But
nothing. You know,
boy, it just yeah, they
better
were
than
so
nothing.
powerful. I saw them a couple of times back in the '70s, later '70s at the Aragon Ballroom there, northern Chicago, and oh boy, they were just magnificent shows. Geez, I think one of them was Montrose, Rush, and Blue Oyster Cult. Yeah, yeah, we're talking
Nice.
about a three bill there, man. That was just crazy as can be. So, well, I can always hope. We can always hope, man, that you know, God will help us out and have them do a concert. That'd be great. And then stop by Tinley Park there. That'd be pretty freaking cool. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
we haven't
what.
heard about Getty doing anything. So I mean, he pops up on stuff once in a while, just but nothing, project wise. So
Yeah, well, we'll see. We can always hope. All right, moving on. Bruce Springsteen in the news again, and it's not for his unbelievably popular and successful concert tour. What he's doing right now, I'm seeing some articles about it, and yeah, he's giving it all again. I mean, even McCartney's ticked off at him. Did you know that Paul McCartney says because back in the day, right? You're a big Bruce fan. Didn't Bruce back in the day do like 3 hour
oh, still
concert?
does,
Oh
still does. Oh
God,
yeah,
that's amazing. That's
yeah.
just amazing. And actually, McCartney got pissed off because everybody else in the concert industry had to step up their game. Because he was showing them all how to do it. So, and boy, he just doesn't stop. Not only is he doing his tour and everything, but he's come out with another album. He's recorded an album of soul covers, which
Yeah. Yeah, he just had that one. It's called "Only the Strong
yeah,
Survive."
in 22, yeah.
Yeah, he just had that one, and it was volume one. So obviously, we speculated it'd be a volume two, and sure enough, so yeah, it's kind of he's working on that while he's out on tour, and I don't know how he's finding time to do it, but It's just been finished. David Sanchez, who was a piano player in the early days of the E Street Band, back on first couple albums, first three albums actually, and I guess he's involved in this. And he yeah, came out in I don't know, Twitter or somewhere, but so yeah, they just finished working on it. So
Yeah.
sounds like they're gonna be touring on that when he finishes this one. So Bruce,
Wow.
73 years old, 74 years old, coming up on. So
Just
no,
can't stop, man.
you know,
Freaking
it's
A. And it's got some great songs on it. I Wish It Would Rain by the Temptations.
yeah,
That's a great song. Four Tops, When She Was My Girl. It's got Walker Brothers in there. All sorts, there's there's so much good early music.
I'm not the biggest Bruce Springsteen fan in the world, but
Yes, you are.
yeah, I'm up there, man. You'd be hard pressed to find a bigger one. I mean, I pulled out everything I got of his back. It'd be quite a sight to see, man. I got hundreds of stuff back there, but I'm just really not that interested in this. I don't have last year's. I don't, usually as soon as this stuff comes out, I'm there the day it comes out, but
Maybe it's doing covers, because the
yeah,
originals are usually they're good enough. They're fine. I
yeah.
Wish It Would Rain. That's no need to redo that. Okay, you
I don't know.
can,
I
but
just don't have any interest in it. Just hear. I love Bruce, and I want to hear what he's got to say and how he's evolving as an artist. But him doing covers, and especially soul covers, it just seems to me like it's kind of a guilty pleasure kind of thing for him. Like something he's
yeah,
always wanted to do, and just figured, hey, whatever I put out is going to sell however much, so whatever.
yeah,
I may as well do something I've always wanted to do, and
Well,
I hope he goes back to writing some new stuff, man. And I mean, it doesn't seem like he's planning on slowing down or anything.
apparently not, man. You
So
got enough money, geez. I get when you got that
yeah,
itch,
he's in that billionaire club
yeah,
now. So
yeah. He's but when you got it in your blood, I mean, that's what you do. That's what you do.
yeah,
So there you go,
yeah.
Brucey.
Speaking of,
Yeah. Now this sort of surprises me. We're talking about Peter Frampton, who last year, he announced his retirement because basically he has to play sitting down now. His
yeah,
health is so messed up that he has to play sitting down. And he was going to retire, but apparently COVID screwed up everything. The world really it just everything was screwed up, and COVID messed everything up. And well, what he says is the reason for my choices that I quit after Europe. I had quit because we did the finale tour, and U.S. and Canada in 2019, and then finished in October. Boy, that's right when basically when it hit. And May 2020, we were going to go to Europe, but obviously everything got shut down because of COVID. So then I didn't think I was going to make it until they dangled the Royal Albert Hall in front of us in November. So we did go, we did 8 shows in Europe, which was amazing, and blah, blah, blah. It keeps going on. And when asked whether it was a difficult decision to make, he talked about it. He said it was more difficult decision earlier on because I had made the statement I'm allowed to change my mind that I wanted to quit while I was ahead and could still play at the top of my game, which was pretty much the final tour. I was pretty much still at the top of my game, and things have slipped a little. He admits it. Yeah. But my band said, "What are you talking about? We can't notice any difference." So I said, "Well, I know because of the choices that I would make in an ad lib solo, which is what I do all night. But I don't know. I think it's if he wants to keep touring, I know the band does. They want the paycheck coming in, but
right.
yeah, boy,
It sounds like that's got to be a real inner struggle with them. I mean, if you're kind of forced to retire for health reasons, and can you still do it? Can you not? I mean, what's his age now? He's got to be 70-ish. I'm
oh
sure.
yeah, oh yeah, I bet he's
Yeah,
72, 73
yeah,
anyway.
probably. So,
Well, it's a
yeah,
shame because you see
yeah, got to
somebody
be a tough one, man.
like Phil Collins,
Oh yeah,
he had no choice, at this point
yeah,
he had to be sitting down all tour, and his voice was basically shot at this point, and he didn't want to, but he had to.
yeah.
And
Right.
apparently Peter Frampton, he's still got it in him. He'll be sitting down maybe, but gosh,
Yeah, it
Frampton's
sounds like he was
caramels.
ready to. Yeah, Frampton's camel, right?
Oh,
Humble
no,
pie. Yeah.
yeah. If you want to see, if you want to hear Peter Frampton at his very best, you go out and you get, or you listen to Humble Pie Rockin' the Fillmore, live album from the Fillmore East, probably, or Fillmore West. I'm not even sure which one. Probably the Fillmore East. And man, yeah, you'll hear Frampton at his very best. And more power to him if he wants to keep playing. Hopefully he's not doing it because he has to, like we talked
No,
about.
no, it doesn't sound like he is at all. It kind of sounded like he was ready to hang it up, and then, like you said, oh, yeah, about Royal Albert Hall. Okay, I'll go play that one. And how about this one? All right, we'll go. And then before he knows it, he's just kind of like, yeah, I can't give this up.
Yeah,
And
the name of the tour is going to be the Never Say Never. Yeah, the
well,
Never
that's what
Say.
he was saying at the end of the last tour, the
Yeah,
grand finale tour. He's saying, hey, this could be it because never
it,
say never. That's kind of
it's
how he
going to
left
kick
it.
off. Yeah, kick
And
off
so,
June 21st in Ohio. June 21st. That's in 2 days.
yeah,
Ooh, I'll
go
be
see
darned. Good
Frampton.
for him. Good for him, man. If as long as he's enjoying it, more power to him. I see like who's the Creedence Clearwater, John Fogerty. He
Yeah.
toured all the time, but he's got his kids as his backup band. So it's like that's got to be the most
Oh, yeah.
joyous
There you
thing
go.
ever. That's
Exactly.
got to be
Yeah.
the best thing ever. Got your kids
Yeah.
playing with you. Jesus. Oh, and his voice is still, he could still
Right.
sing all the Creedence stuff.
Yeah.
So wow, 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 wow.
Just go out and play, and you got 40, I don't know how many songs they got, that everybody knows. You're all that between that and his
Oh
solo
yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Oh my God. Oh, jeez.
you got 3 hours of stuff that everybody knows, man. It's
Yeah.
like,
The old man down the road. Yeah.
uh,
So Peter's gonna get, he's gonna hang in there and stick with it. So good for him, man.
yeah,
Good deal.
I wouldn't mind seeing him. I don't know who he's teamed up with. That'd be
Oh,
could possibly be a good double bill depending on who
humble pie, man, rocking the Fillmore. Oh
uh
my gosh.
he's
Oh
probably just headlining, doing smaller venues and stuff, I bet right now. But
yeah, I would think so. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Speaking of bands that, yeah, Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick, they're canceling some more gigs. Or no, they're at least canceling their Summerfest.
yeah.
And they canceled it like a week in advance. They said they right on their Facebook page, due to unforeseen circumstances, we have been forced to cancel our performance at this year's Summerfest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on June 22nd, 3 days. We apologize to our fans, but want you to know that we will be seeing you out there real soon. Wow, a week in advance. What happened?
Is that like one of them redundancies, like unforeseen circumstances? No, we foreseen them, but we went ahead anyway, and no,
Okay,
of
who
course
double booked?
they're always unforeseen, always.
Yeah,
But
the Summerfest. That's a big deal. That's a big
yeah, it's
gig.
kind of a big gig.
And to
Yeah,
cancel it a week in advance, obviously it's
yeah,
not it's not a sickness in the band or something. You don't know what's going to happen a week in advance. So I'll be darned. Oh, well,
yeah.
it is what it
It'll
is.
happen there. You know what though? Remember we reported, oh gosh, this probably been a few months ago now, but Cheap Trick, they got in the top 10 of gigs played
Right.
for a band. And it was like, I don't even remember,
Wow.
6,000 or something, whatever. And you're up there with bands like the Beach Boys and ours like Johnny Cash and stuff that have been around for 50 years.
Hello.
And
I'm Johnny Cash.
so Cheap Trick got up there with. I mean, if you're playing that many shows, this stuff's
Yeah.
about to happen, I suppose.
Yeah, and they're older than me for Christ's sake. So they're
Yeah,
really old.
yeah.
Because I'm really old. They're
And
really,
I
really
mean, like I
old.
said, they're road dogs among road dogs, but
Yeah.
even among the
At some
best,
point.
things come up. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
misses a day from work once in a while. I mean,
Well,
something comes
it's
up.
getting really interesting watching all my my childhood heroes, just you know just watching the let's face it, just watching the deterioration of all the bands and stuff, the finishing, the endings, the illnesses, the inability to hit the high ones anymore. I mean,
Yeah,
things just it sucks, everything falling apart like that. But you got to take it for what it is. They I saw them all back in the day. Saw Cheap Trick Well, actually, Cheap Cheese. I saw Rick Nielsen and Tom Peterson before they were in Cheap Trick. I saw them at the Fox Lake VFW in Fuse, the band they were in before Cheap Trick. They were in a band called Fuse, and I've been seeing these guys for a long time. John Cheap Trick, geez, seen them all over Chicagoland. So you're right though. They've done so many gigs at some point, just hang it up, call it a day. But they may not. They may not. Oh, speaking of calling it a day, here's a cat who we saw last year, which was supposedly his final tour, right? That was supposed to be.
I never saw that. You said you saw it. Or
Yes,
heard.
I saw it. I
don't
swear,
remember seeing that. But
I was not dreaming. But Rod Stewart, Sir Rod, and headline. He feels like his rock career has reached its end, and that's fine. What a career it's been, man. That was the best show we saw last year.
Do you read on leaving rock and roll behind for swing?
But rock and roll. But he's been swinging forever though. He's done some jazzy stuff years ago.
Yeah, he did the.
He's always been all over the
place.
The
Great American Songbook. Kind of doing the old standards.
Yeah. So he's. I'm not
Cole
surprised.
Porter and that kind of stuff, but
I'm not surprised.
So that's what he's kind of doing, and he's made comments in the past. He doesn't want to be doing hot legs when he's 80. He doesn't want to be doing "Do you think I'm sexy" when he's 80. Well, he's 78, man. He's 78. Yeah. So
enough is enough.
I guess if you're gonna give it up, it's about time to give that up. He's always kind of had that part of him that's always kind of wanted to be kind of that crooner, kind of, that 40s type of, that's the guy. So
yeah.
I guess he's just going to pursue that, and he'll probably just do that until he decides to give it up for good, I guess.
Well, you can hear it coming out. He did that about you. Have I told you lately that I love you? That kind of real crooner type of stuff. You knew that he had it in him. So I'm not saying you can't rock forever. You sure did give us a good show, though. Boy, oh boy,
sure.
If that's his final rock, statement to the world, man. Woo, doggy. Boy, oh boy, excellent, just excellent. And
the fact he's 78 years old and making a career switch, I was like,
wow.
This guy's
just retired. Geez, he's got to have great grandkids at this point. Geez, just retire and enjoy your kids and grandkids.
It'll be like Tony Bennett, just gonna be that 90-year-old guy doing
Oh yeah,
standard,
Lady Gaga, Tony, yeah.
I don't know if he'll be doing Lady Gaga, but
he's done, right? I'm sure. Is he still alive? I don't know.
Tony Bennett.
But yeah, I don't have no idea.
I know.
But I know his last tour though. He was he had Alzheimer's or whatever, and he was really struggling. So I'm sure he's called it a day. Another guy who's not interested in touring too much in the future. This sort of surprised me. Trent Reznor. I was surprised when I read the headline. Trent Reznor on 9 Inch Nails. He's not, but then, the headline, he's not interested in touring again in the future. But then you look down and you understand why. The sub headline, I don't want to be away from my kids. He got 5 kids. It's like, I'll tell you what, man, if you've got the money, stay home and enjoy your kids. Because, they only grow up once. And I've seen so many rock stars with the regrets. Well, not so many, but I've seen fewer, they regret not being home with their kids for birthdays and whatnot when they're out on tour getting wasted with the roadie, the chicks and all that shit and all the drugs and crap. And he's got 5 kids. So what he says is, I kind of want to feel okay, and I want to make sure my family's okay. And that's great. That's okay. And then he goes on to say that being a father to 5 children has, quote, radically shaped every bit of who I am and why I do anything. And says that music has fallen down on his list of priorities. Good. I'm sure he's made a bunch of money, so I'm sure he's not hurting. And
he's left his mark for sure. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's done.
He could be a producer now. He could,
start as innovative as they come, man.
He could open up his studio at his house, bring musicians in and produce well, let's go on a break so I can play some catch with my kids, and then I'll come back and we'll continue.
Yeah.
And he says the importance of music or lack of importance of music in today's world, from my perspective, is a little defeating. He says, music used to be the thing that was what I was doing when I had time. I was listening to music. I wasn't doing it in the background while I was doing 5 other things. So, yeah, he's 5 kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that statement there, the importance of music or the lack of importance of music in today's world, from my perspective, is a little defeating. Basically, he's saying nobody gives a shit about music anymore, so why should I put any more out? And
Wow.
that's like, it's sad to hear that. It's like,
Yep.
I mean, I'm sad that he feels that way, but I'm not disagreeing. I mean,
Hey, well, it's sad, but like he said, music is just dropped because when you got 5 kids, whatever, because
well, I guess that's what he's saying.
in his younger
Between
days,
that and how much everybody else is even caring about what he does, is like, well, obviously this the no brainer. I'm gonna give up the music and just, I don't know what he's worth. I'm sure he's worth shit tons, man. But
boy, oh boy, good for him though.
Yeah, you know what? He was an innovative
kids.
dude, man. He's a
Oh
guy.
yeah.
Pop or industrial were not ever supposed to come together, man, and he made it happen, man. He's
Oh yeah.
he's
I
top
used
notch.
his I used one of his songs as the opening music on when I did my TV show, as a matter of fact, on Aurora Cable. That's right. I actually did a TV show. You did too. But I did one, yeah, for like 3 years on Aurora Cable, Wayne's World. We were at Royal, Illinois, man, Wayne's World, doing actual cable shit. So yeah.
Yeah, since you brought that up, I was my show is written up in the paper as the real Wayne's World, man. We remember we had the Joe
Yeah.
Schmo variety show, man, and it was written
Yeah.
up the way he put it. It was a cross. Well, this is back in '96 when we had the show. It was, the guy in the paper. It was a cross between the super fans from Saturday Night Live, Late Night with David Letterman, and something you might see on MTV. I remember that was how he put the show. So yeah, that was
Oh
kind of,
yeah.
People don't know that
We were
had a
cable
little,
guys
back in the day.
back in the day. But yeah. So it is what it is. So Trent's doing the right thing though. Take care of your kids. My gosh, get them a good education, whatnot. Take care of that. But oh yeah, I love his music, man. I just he was so very innovative, if you will.
Yeah, very much so.
And there's a great video on YouTube, as a matter of fact. Let me write that down. Where who's the guy who did Cars? Gary Newman. Yeah. They do a version of Cars, and live. He comes and plays with 9 Inch Nails, and it's really cool. I'll write that down so I can post that.
It's funny you bring him up, and I've seen both of them. I've seen 9 Inch Nails, and I've seen Gary Newman.
You've seen Gary Newman? Oh,
I've seen Gary Newman, and I got to tell you, man, heck of a show, man, heck of a show.
Yeah, he's out touring right now, and he's got daughters playing with him.
Okay,
this guy's right on. Here's another guy. Yeah.
The way the band was dressed, they were like in this post-apocalyptic kind of dress and stuff, and
paint on their faces and shit. Oh,
yeah. It was a great show, man. Great show. But
absolutely.
And 9 Inch Nails is exactly what you think a 9 Inch Nails show would be. That's pretty much exactly
very crazy cool. So Trent, good for him though. Now I'm sure we haven't heard the last of him, but priorities, baby. And when it comes to the kids are priorities.
Well, I'm sure exactly we do what you kind of alluded to a little bit earlier. We'll probably just do some producing and have some people dropping by and produce some of the stuff, and
absolutely, absolutely,
creative juices flowing that way, and it'll be fine.
Here's a story that it's been all over the interweb, but I've sort of just annoyed it, but avoided it, but it really can't be avoided anymore. And this is, what is it? Rammstein. Right. They're some crazy German band, industrial metal, a lot of fire on stage and whatnot. They got fire breathing guitars and fire, it's just crazy cool, but very, very popular. But they're in trouble.
They played Soldier Field, man. Remember, they filled up Soldier Field just last summer, man.
My son Ian went to that.
That's
one.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. And their frontman, Till Lindemann, he's
Till.
under investigation in Germany following a string of sexual assault and drug-related allegations. And this was reported by Barron's.
Shocking. The guy from Rammstein is going to have such allegations. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Allegations related to sexual offenses and the distribution of narcotics. A spokesperson said of the Berlin Folk, adding that they launched it at their own discretion as well as on the basis of several criminal complaints. Apparently, last month, a fan who attended the band's concert in Lithuania wrote a series of posts on both Reddit and Twitter claiming that she was drugged during the show's pre-party after being invited by a member of the Rammstein camp. She further alleges that she was recruited to have sex with Lindemann under the stage,
right,
during one of the show's interludes,
right,
in which she declined. There you go. There's that under the stage scene. What the hell? They got like a club scene under the stage,
dude, and you know it's like, all right, time for the drum
Playboy
solo.
Grotto. Yeah.
Time for the drum solo. Let's see what they got for me down there.
You know what I mean?
You know it's like that.
Wow.
You know it's like that. All right, make sure you go find me a cutie for during the drum solo. Okay, Till. And then they go find some unsuspecting young lady. I get to go in there. See ya.
Yeah.
Wait till Till comes down here with his sparks flying out of his crotch or whatever.
Though the woman asserted she was not sexually assaulted, she shared several photos and videos of bruises that she woke up with the morning after the show and claimed she was sick the entire day despite not consuming a lot of alcohol throughout the night. After her post went viral, several other women reportedly made allegations against the singer on various social media platforms.
Oh, yeah,
too.
no doubt.
Oh, boy. And then Rammstein denied the accusations, on a statement on their social media. Boy, I wish I could do a German accent. With regard to the allegations circulating on the internet about Vilnius, we can rule out the possibility that what is being claimed took place in our environment. We are not aware of any official investigation into this matter. Yeah, right. But Lindemann, he's taking heat now following the accusations. He was dropped by his publisher,
right?
Kiepenheuer and Wüst. The company issued a statement writing that they became aware of a porn video in which Till Lindemann celebrates sexual violence against women, and which the 2013 book In Still Night, published by Kiepenheuer and Wüst, played a role, and thus they've ended their relationship with him as a client. So, geez, they're really popular. My son Ian is familiar with them, but wow, here we go. They think they can't be untouchable because they're rock stars. He's about to find out otherwise.
This is the stuff that happened regularly back in the 80s. Def Leppard had the same thing under the stage.
Led Zeppelin and the Shark.
And the Mud Shark, Right,
yeah. Led Zeppelin and the Shark. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen.
All these stories, yeah.
So, but geez, I'm
glad that young girls aren't being subjected to that kind of shame more.
Exactly.
But I'm saying,
but if you're a groupie, don't be a groupie. How about that? How about you not be a groupie and try and get in with the band, because they're all perverts.
Yeah.
Maybe not Bruce.
You wouldn't want your daughter in that situation.
No, you wouldn't. So, just stay, ladies, stay away from under the stage at any concert. So that's my advice to you. Live, learn, deal with it.
How long have they been around? They've been
a long time.
Yes, that's the 90s, mid-90s or whatever.
They love you a long time.
I'm sure this is nothing new. I'm sure this is not like, you know what, guys, let's switch it up on this tour. Let's start bringing broads under the stage for,
Oh, geez, under stage. Wow. Geez, yeah.
I wouldn't be broads, it'd be frows.
They can't wait till after the show. You can't wait till after the show. Right. So there's a drum solo. Wouldn't you want to refresh yourself, maybe wipe down, get some water or a shot of tequila or whatever, settle down, get ready to go out there. No. Hey, where's the chick I'm going to bang under the stage?
Where's the Fraulein?
Hurry. The drum
solo is there,
Fraulein? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Well, then, both parties are at fault. Jeez. Women, really. Yeah, geez, you got to protect yourself.
Wo ist der Fraulein mit der Stupen?
You're there, yaha.
Ah, the stupid.
Oh man. Okay, well, let's finish up here. Let's look at this Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden. We talk we talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame quite a bit. And I'll be darned, Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson, legendary singer Bruce Dickinson. He said, "Hell with it, hell with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't want to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because we're not dead yet." So, well, that's actually a good point. When you think about it, why would
Well, the criteria is
I see
25
his
years
point.
after you're,
Well,
it's not saying.
I see your point though. If
And they
he's still out
probably
there,
should have changed it. I think back when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame started in '85 is when they came up with it. That was probably about the lifespan of bands. After 25 years, they pretty much had come and gone. At that point, but except for the Stones, of course, that time. But
oh, the Stones.
but even then they were 20 years or whatever at that point. So 23 years. But so they probably didn't plan on a whole lot of artists having 40
longevity,
year
longevity, yes.
relevance, so
sure. Yeah, well, and I see his point. Well, they're still out there kicking. Once they're done kicking, once they're done and they call it a day, okay. At that point, sure. You've done your deed, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is where you belong. But yeah, while they're still, heavily playing,
kind of like sports. When your career is over,
yes,
then you
get
can
into
go
Hall of
in.
Fame.
Yeah.
But yeah, good point. Yeah. Same thing with Rock. You should, he's got a good point. Good for you. I mean, the guy, he's legendary. Jeez.
Yeah, but
what a mind.
I mean, when people say, "Oh, I don't care about being," I rarely believe that.
Well, he doesn't care to be in it now. He wants to wait until they deserve it. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, Plenty made the statement, pop music is disposable, darling. Well, we don't make disposable music.
Good call. Good call. Okay, Bruce. Okay, let's finish it up here. One more thing before we go. I saw this and I it sort of blew me away. There's a pop singer called BB Rexha, 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 and she was doing some concert, and some son of a bitch whipped his phone at her and hit her right in the freaking face. And she was out. They had to rush her off the stage.
Holy
and I'm
shit.
thinking, my God. Well, think about that. If you take a phone and you put it on its edge and you whip that sucker.
Oh God, yeah.
That's gonna be a serious.
Who's gonna give up? Who's gonna sacrifice their phone?
Some son of a bitch did.
Somebody did. Or possibly somebody else's phone, probably. Yeah.
But boy, that's scary. Back in the day, nobody had anything. They came in with basically their wallet and that's it. And nowadays they have to allow people in with phones. You can turn it into a deadly weapon. So I saw that and it's like, oh geez.
I can't imagine them starting to have you check your phone and coming in the door.
No, but boy, that had to hurt. That had to hurt. Jiminy creepers. But boy, oh boy, let's not start that. Let's not start that up. And it's funny. I saw a meme the other day that they had a concert of the '70s from the stage. You're looking out at the crowd, and they're all peace signs and all this stuff. And then concerts today, and all you see is phones up.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you people are just losing the moments. You're just losing it. It's just ridiculous. But in any case, it's not ridiculous. It's the Rock and Roll Geezers show.
So yeah, don't get us started on our geezerly ways, yeah.
Jiminy creepers, yes indeed, Doc. But I'm about done here. I gotta go tend to my garden. So thanks everybody for stopping by. Oh, yes indeed. And man, what do we got here? Episode 65. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And man, oh man, we will see you next week. And boy, oh boy, who knows what's going to go on this week? The concert season's in full bang, and we'll see what goes on. There's all sorts of mischief going on constantly, so we'll keep you informed on all that. And thanks again, Doc, for joining me, man. And why don't you take this puppy home?
Yeah, we'll see what next week brings. We didn't hear a lot from our usual suspects this week, so we'll see again any more trouble next week. Motley Crue, Roger Waters, those kind of folks. But yeah, thanks for dropping by and checking us out. And please subscribe if you haven't. We do this every week, so regularly we never miss. So We're here for you every week, working real hard. So please encourage our behavior and hit that subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. So till next week, everybody have a great rock and roll filled week, and we'll see you then.